Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday, October 16th meeting of the Parks and Community Services Committee for Canyon Beach. We'll call the meeting to order because we've got a quorum of 3 members. And so Sherry, if you could please identify the members present in your notes, and the 2 were excused absences. We'll move into approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Any comments? Recommendations for changes or approval? Yes.
Just on the monthly state of parks, the next to last line, says big summer festivities are over, time to take down pickleball nets. The pickleball nets stay out year round, you pick down like windscreens.
Okay.
Can't go with windscreens.
Okay. So we'll make that correction. Yeah, almost seen them. Yeah. The only other request that I'd have was, I was the mysterious person on the phone, which you can't identify, and you can't say anything while you're on the phone. So for if nothing else, and then to satisfy myself, could we please show in the minutes that I wasn't absent, but that I was on the phone? Okay.
Well, I remember that one. I remember on here.
Yes, sorry. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting then?
I move that we approve the minutes for the last meeting.
Okay,
Second,
move and approve, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're open for public comments. Trevor, do we have anybody? No one's online, no one's looking, no one's present, so we'll know, no one online, no one present for public comments. So moving the discussions and information items, let's start with the monthly state of the parks. AJ.
Good morning, I guess summer's over, the wind squeeze, like I mentioned, had come down from the tennis courts. The purple mark houses at the sewer pond have been come down and they are waiting to be put away, we had issues getting clean, but we're not gonna throw away for the next, ready to go for next year. The flower baskets in town have been come down. Tomorrow, AJ and I are gonna meet some folks. We saw 2 new memorial plaques over at the bandstand. Of course, ongoing citywide landscape maintenance, unlike some parts of the country, this, when the rain comes back a little bit, this time of year, the grass grows better in October than it does in August. Put up some protective fencing around some new trees, the Alps have having their way with some of our new trees. So, there's a couple of redwoods at Madison, this is all ages of course. And there's one of our RV park that are protected now. Spread some wood chips on the Nature's Trail. New trees were planted, to the cedar, redwood at Madison and ECFR. Got 1,000 daffodil bulbs showed up here today, our fall daffodil plant.
1,000.
Daffodil bulbs. AJ spread 800 pounds of turf fertilizer at the main park. And the electrical power to the bandstand that's been shot up.
And it was very successful for the bonds, right?
And all apartments get used.
It was very successful for the houses.
And it's 28 apartments at all.
So I just want you to know that the ECAP people were just over the moon thrilled of that you guys took those down and cleaned them. Thank you so much.
That's all we're efficient, we just do it, we got a good storage spot in the recycling center, so it just makes it easier.
Well, if
We just need help with the timing of deploying them, a reminder,
yeah,
but it's easy for us just to kind of take that over and keep that program going.
There's
no,
36 independent little pieces to those warehouses. Wow, so it's nice to keep them all together at the same place, we have an issue, but.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it just really helps, and thank you, it makes our city even more eco because of that going over years. Thank you guys.
fun to watch them being used, so.
Yeah, seriously,
Every season it gets better and better.
they're spreading the word.
Yeah,
Well, we had more than before, but hesitate to install more.
Yeah.
And the redwood that's at Madison Park, it's the one that, the first one that you donated. That was out here, and it didn't do very well in the brackish water, right? And so now it's next to the one, there's a little baby one that I planted inside a stump. That was an old, rotten tree that we had to have removed. So there's a little redwood and then there's a big one that you donated next to it, the big ring around both of them. Okay, so hopefully they'll leave you with them.
back up at the ECFR, the bank rehab project we did, I'm not sure if you guys can walk up there and take a look, but it looks great. Finalizing that, there's 5 alders I've been planting along with the firs. We're gonna get Jeff here back up there, hopefully next week, and we're gonna take a look and see if we can put some more, western red cedars in some areas in that area, work with Parkway. So,
And I finished up with Mark, I was there yesterday, so they will be.
there was a big spruce tree there that we did everything we could do to save it, and, I had Joe Birch do some, selective trimming on it, along with collaboration with, our arborist on that, so that tree's been over a long time now, which is- we're very happy about that.
Such good news.
That's good. Then thinking about the park maintenance, I know last week I was driving by Whale Park and it was a pleasure to see the professional
Yeah.
arborists there. And then seeing their results afterward, they just did an excellent job.
And that was a collaboration with Joe Birch and our city arborist.
Okay, great.
We also did a trimming on the tree at Tolawana Hall. Got a pretty significant lean, kind of towards the building, so along collaboration with Joe Birch and our arborist, we did some selective trimming up there to lessen the load up there. Again, that was healthy tree, we just.
I saw him.
Direction.
Yeah, I saw him doing that. I was thanking him. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's been really good,
Yeah,
yeah,
we gotta protect the ones we have that can be protected.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very good. Well, good report. Anything else? Kind of state of the park, so. Thanks for all that work and accomplishments there. I know it's a busy part of the year, so.
Still playing soccer, when the next, the league is over, but, that's pretty tough, but they're over, they go out there. Oh, Collins, that's not cool.
Yeah, good. Nice to see our parks get used.
yeah.
Okay, well then moving on, I see the report on right of way trees. We didn't have anything inside the packet, so is there anything else to discuss here?
Just briefly, I'll discuss from gearing up to do the sewer line project, you guys saw the report last month. Of that little cluster of homes, we're gonna be starting that project here soon. That sewer line from the PD underneath the highway and then to Hemlock Street down in Sitka. That's coming out here soon, so you'll see some activity down there. That's coming up.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Looking up and noting, Anita, if I miss you, just chime in if you got any questions or comments. If I miss you, your hand up, okay?
Thank you.
Next we'll go on to the Cannon Beach, elementary plans. We know we've got a meeting that's, now scheduled for next Thursday, kind of a joint meeting to hear a presentation about some considerations for activities and improvements there, so additional comments,
When is that due?
Next Thursday.
Okay.
28.
28. You guys saw Jen's email?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 28th to Thursday.
yeah, I've seen him.
Oh. It came to us, I think there been a couple of them, and then there was a,
The 28th,
28th is a Tuesday.
Yeah, if it's not next week, it's the
Not
following.
next
I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, Tuesday, 28th,
here at 6 o'clock.
yeah, 6 P.M.
Gotcha.
Yep, I have October 28th down, but I'm gonna make October go by too fast, shouldn't do
Jeff, you said an email from Jeff.
that. No, it's, they came from the city.
Oh, from Jen.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jen
yes,
said if you
yes.
have any comments, will be submitted by the 17th. Or,
Right,
yeah.
And anything that we wanted included in the packet, it sounded like.
Correct.
And if we're on the Parks Committee, we can still submit a thing to Jen.
Of course, that's what she said.
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
It just has to be her by something.
Okay, all right.
You have the same authority as the council at this meeting, so assert yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else on, that? Stand by, look forward to that discussion. Follow-up actions after that.
There is one page in the park management plan, page 36 is neighbors might be working.
Okay.
Page 36.
Good for that. Thanks, Kurt, for that. So we'll review the, Cannon Beach Elementary School plans and the Parks Master Plan, page 36. Great. Dang, we're moving along then, monthly reserve cleanup. Betty, you want?
Can I just add something to, thank you, Kirk, page 36, but also on page 29, there's just a little paragraph regarding Nikus Park improvements. Just to add to that.
Page 29.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Anita.
oh, yeah, the first glance at it, important. Talking about community invoicing, it says, also known as the school site, this project was by far the most popular of all. That other meetings trying to build this plan, and opinions vary.
Our little town.
From a modest program similar to that show, is way more vibrant gathering spot with indoor and outdoor activities.
Thanks for highlighting that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of homework to do with that, then look forward to discussion and presentation then. So Betty, back to you then, anything on the monthly reserve cleanup? And you were talking a little bit about the other good news we have with the volunteers. You want to maybe touch on that too?
Okay, so this month, we're gonna be back at the park across the street from Nikus, the Little Elk Creek Pocket Park, on east of Nikus. And last month, we were able to plant some pollinator plants. And, Mark and his wife planted some flower seeds a few months ago, and they're coming up, and the elk don't eat them, thank goodness. And so this month, we're gonna be planting more pollinator plants. And it seems to me that the Forest Service is getting into the idea of pollinator plants around areas where there's been clear cut. So I've been reading up on that, and Mark is helping Arch Cape do that kind of process. So we are mimicking that at the school. The city said we could plant next to the school there where we had to take trees out. And so we are mimicking what Mark's doing, planting wildflowers. And so we're praying that that will come up. And also the school would like to make that little area an outdoor learning center. So last week, the kids were all in our eco camp. They were after school, they were all making little critter houses next to the forest. And they had so much fun, and the parents came to pick them up and had to wait for half an hour in their car because they didn't want to leave. So it's such a blessing. I really, I thank you for letting us use that space. So that's that. And then so we're gonna be at the park this Saturday. And then we were able to get 5 Ecola Bible School kids to come work with us again this year. And Graham Clegg from the Watershed Group would like us to arrange to go up into the ECMR with them next Tuesday and take the cages off the trees that have been on our cedar trees. So I'm not sure if that's.
I'd love to know the location, but I believe they were removed 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Is Graham going with you out there? He's gonna lead the way, he knows all about it, then,
Well, I think he's seen them, but
okay.
I don't know. I mean, he's actually on a trip right now, so I can't talk to him, but he was under the impression for some reason that they were there and,
Well, he would know, so we get it there. Because it's, maybe do it several different batches.
It's been a while since I've been down on that area.
Every one of his puts them in, Doug Wade puts them in, he puts them in, and then we different spots, but I don't know.
I would be in touch with you because we need transportation for the kids to get up there. There's 5 of them, plus myself and Mike and whoever else, Mark, whoever else wants to come. AJ maybe, I don't know. But if we could get up there and then take the cages out, and maybe we could use those cages for some other, I don't know what. cages
We'll just have to make sure that the cages are there before we go.
Well, that's true, yeah, right. But he was concerned about getting them back out of there and then maybe reusing them, so.
We'll have to see the shape.
Yeah, we're gonna condition there.
I don't guarantee it be reused, but
And then I guess we need to have whatever tools that would be needed to take them out.
And this is all happening on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah, from 1 to 3, the kids.
We need to get up there and see if these cages do it good before we commit to.
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, I'm gonna have the students work maybe at Whale Park where we talked about taking out that. Taking out the invasives at Whale Park. Or they could also go back to the little Elk Creek Park.
Why don't we do that? And AJ, in the next couple of weeks, we'll run up there and see if you can find any of these cages and verify that.
Okay, the only trouble is,
Unless you wanna go up there and try to find them.
when I'm scheduled, and so Graham knows there's some up there.
He's been spoke about this quite a bit last year, wanting to try to get in there, and we just never were able to get it scheduled, so he sounded like he was coming from direct knowledge observations that they're still.
All right.
You know,
yeah, and the only reason I'm hesitating of waiting is because it's so hard to schedule him. He's got projects in so many areas, so.
Might want one more phone. Before Tuesday. To verify that he's absolutely sure that they're there and knows where he's going and those are including that.
Okay, I will, yeah,
Yeah.
Graham's gone, Kelly Pine Hill there, her Farming Association,
right,
I think she was up there with him, so.
right.
Or anybody.
But yeah, so I would be available on Tuesday to go up there as long as I'm not sick or.
Okay, so they're gonna meet with us every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And I will create a schedule like I did last year. Of the days that whoever can't come, will make sure that they know, and I also promised them this year we wouldn't send them out into driving rain.
But you try to, and people, you want. Motorized transportation up there, or they can walk in from the gate. You get these cages, so.
It's a pretty good walk, as we know, in from the gate. I'd be more concerned, if you will, that's the right word for it, would be if, how we're gonna get the cages out. You know, because even if they're not usable, we don't want to leave them there.
No,
I get
But then you get up to the road where we can access them.
Yeah, I can bring a dump truck in there
Oh,
later on, and
yeah.
I'll small in myself or
You're
whatever.
gonna have that cage, are, they were they're where I think they are. You're gonna have to hand drive them out to the road.
Across the creek.
Across the creek.
Yeah.
I would, especially with the trail, that's gotta be much easier to get us some new something across the creek.
Well, I think that'd be a good backup. If we can't get in the gate, it's doable to walk in there and then leave them staged, you know, next to the road and pick them out later.
Well, I guess Graham was concerned about the time it would take him to walk in there and then walk out in 2 hours. So that's why I was thinking, remember when we went to ECF Farm, we were riding in the truck? That was 5 people sitting in the truck, you know.
Well, if I drove the water truck, that's easy, 6 people.
Or something like that. You,
How many did you say?
There's 5 of them, myself, Mark. But we could even, I don't know if it's allowed to drive our car in there, but I'm willing.
that's why I brought this up, because I don't think we want our approval, you know, 5 vehicles out there, it's just a bad precedent.
Yeah, no, it would have to be city roads.
Okay, okay.
AJ was like 5 and out the end of the red truck and then a couple kids can climb in the back,
No.
Yeah,
but well, every seatbelt's taken.
And everybody keeps saying kids, but these are actually young adults. Okay, I just want to clarify that.
and I need to have the updated volunteer form so that they're signing it before we really
Do
leave.
you need that form?
Well, I know it's been updated, so I don't know if I have a fresh,
Do you need copies?
yeah,
Sure, we can make some copies.
and I'll pick them up.
That'd be good. Okay,
And then you have, the clippers and everything that they gave you last week.
Yes, I do. I still don't have that electric hand.
Me and the one that I carried.
Yeah. I want one of those too.
if we had one, sometimes heavy duty wire cutters are handy. I've seen those cages before where the tree actually grows into the cage, and it's nice to split the cage and peel it back around it rather than trying to pull it off the top.
Okay,
So,
we'll bring some of those.
Yeah, I usually use a portable angle grinder.
okay, there you go, perfect,
Perfect.
perfect.
So if you have any of those specialty tools.
Yeah, I'll bring everything.
Yeah, and I still have all the tools. And then we're gonna get gloves for the kids, right? And then I think Luke still has his, but it was too small and too medium, I think. Yeah. Did you get my message? On the gloves,
Yeah, I think I got it.
yeah, so I'll bring the tools.
Okay,
Oh, and then meeting place, where should we meet? Here? No,
at the gate.
at the gate, okay. All right.
Okay. Good. All right. Good discussion, good to work out some of those logistics, and it sounds like you're still waiting for us to confirm, or from Betty, I should get Betty to confirm that the cages are there, we're good to go.
Right.
Okay. Anything else on monthly reserve cleanup, the Cola Bible College volunteers, anything else?
Karen just messaged, is she up?
Yeah,
She might have something to say.
go ahead, Karen.
I just wanted to caution you guys, I don't think the city's insurance covers us to transport anybody in our city rigs. So we're gonna need to verify that. I'm happy to use my personal SUV and I can take 7 people in it, beyond myself as the driver. So if you'll just let me know the timing for next Tuesday, transporting the kids, I'm happy to help out in that regard. But I just caution you about thinking it's okay to use our city rigs, because I don't believe it is.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes.
Just give us a call, Betty, when you verify the case, okay?
And I'm gonna call Graham too.
Thank you. And then Anita, did you have anything else on that also, this subject?
No.
Okay, moving on then to Tree City USA. I think everybody knows that we're a recipient of the Tree City USA certification, have been for a number of years, and with a lot of the community leadership with Mayor Barb not being a big part of that. Periodically you have to re-up for renewal of that certification. And so there's an application with that. The mayor's passionate about it, and so she's agreed to fill out the paperwork. If it was endorsed, it sounds like endorsed by the community. I don't know if the community needs to make a motion to approve reapplication, or if it can just happen.
It can just happen.
Okay, and then maybe, it's nice to publicly acknowledge the efforts and the volunteers and that Barb Knopf will do to get that application submitted. So. And then we'll hear more about it when we're hopefully successful with it again, and then I think there's a new little sticker to go on the sign.
Yep.
Talk about that later. Anything else on Tree City USA? Okay, now down to 12 days of Earth Day. And I read that and I go, oh, we're starting to talk about that pretty early again. And then when I looked at the packet, I actually saw it was 12, what was it, 12 days?
12 months.
12 months of Earth Day, 12 months of Earth Day. Then I was really confused until I looked at the graphic. And so With that, Betty, you and I have discussed it. I think you know it best, and you and Les have spent a lot of time thinking about it, getting input from that. So would you mind describing that for us again?
Okay, so we have come up, I spoke with Karen about getting more people to help us on our Saturday workday. Weed Warrior Workday, I'm calling it Weed Warrior, we haven't thought of a good name. Anyway, Les and I got together, we talked about spreading it out over the whole year so that we could put it on the city website and we could post it in different places so that people would know ahead of time. And so if you look at our little chart here, you'll see the different areas in town on the outside.
Can you display the chart? Or do you
Oh,
want,
yeah.
do we want to put the chart up? Is that helpful, or everybody's seen it in the package?
It's just in the family,
Yeah.
sure, now I'm trouble.
Okay.
After your take on that.
Sorry, that's okay.
You want me to?
No, it's okay. We've all seen it.
Can you see it, Anita?
She said yes.
Yes.
So let's say January, we would work on the Rose Garden. February Spruce Reserve Trail, so we have it sort of laid out where we would be, and hopefully we could generate more interest in helping beautify our city. But it also gives us an idea, you know, a plan of how we wanna work each month. So we thought that would be really helpful, so I wanted you folks to see it and see what your thinking is about the idea. The other idea that we were coming up with, and because of low attendance at 12 days and the amount of work that puts on us in that intense period of time, we've been talking about the idea of having one event, and I mean like having North Coast Land Conservancy come and speak one, like let's say they would come on June, they would come and talk to us. It would be a simple talk, but it would be something that they could highlight what they're doing. Surfrider could come in July, so that would be a lot easier for us to have one event a month. We could have it either at the History Museum, or we could have it Tolobon Hall. There's different places we could have this, but it would take a lot of the pressure off of our around the 12 days. And we could still do the things that are super popular, the parade and the street fair. We could do the shred event. We could do this, clean up the beach. There's a lot of things we could still do during that week, planting of the trees. But it would be a lot easier for us to do it that way, I think. And I talked to Karen about it, because she was concerned that it would put more pressure on the parks, on the public works. But I think it'll take away pressure, and I think it might get more involvement. And it might also, we don't just do this 12 days, we do it every day, all year. So I think it would be a win-win, but I want you folks to chime in and give me your concerns and your thoughts on it.
I think that if this is what you're thinking of, that we put online, it would be helpful if it had, like, should lay out here, having dates associated with each one of these events, so somebody can just see this and see the date and see the location.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, and so we could plan that, you know, we could plan it and talk to each group. I mean, all the people that get grant money from us, we would like to highlight them in our, 1 month would be for NBCLC, one would be for the watershed group. So we would be highlighting the HRAP. And I think that because the Puffins are also connected with Earth Day time period, maybe that would be HRAP on that month. And then we would just nail down the times that they would talk, and that would be our communication instead of so much happening, which I think dilutes what we're trying to do. Cause I know we would like to have, more booze and stuff come on street fair day, but everybody's so busy during that 12 days. I don't know, I just think we need to relook at it now that the city owns that. Not owns it, but manages in 12 days. Let's look at it and see how we can grow it without making it something that's gonna be ominous like it is right now. So. Yes.
Anita's pregnant, yeah.
Yeah, can you clarify, are you proposing that we continue the 12 days and add the 12 months? Or are you proposing that we condense the 12 days into maybe a weekend or a couple day event? So it's no
That's-
longer 12 days, it would be 12 months with the culmination or the highlight being the Earth Day street fair and parade.
Perfect, that's exactly what we're thinking, just,
Okay.
Have it more. Focus on Earth Day and focus on the tree planting with the kids and all the things that the shred event. And last year we had giving away compost, those were really well attended. Um,
Right, but what I'm hearing is that you're adding a lot of things. You want to condense it, but so also
No,
spread
not
it
really.
out. So that's where, some clarification on just what all those things that we're going to do the specific time of Earth Day, would be. I like the idea of the street fair and the parade and the tree planting with the kids. And then I don't know, shredding has to be then, or, but then, I like that, but then I'm hearing more and more getting added to that particular time frame. So then it's getting a little bit confusing to me on how it's gonna look.
Look at your chart on April,
Yeah.
where it says shred event, that's pretty much, except for the tree planting wasn't added on there, but that's sort of what we're thinking about, that the parade and street fair, beach cleanup, shred event, and the tree planting, those would be kind of pretty, and then also the puffin thing, those would be April. And then we would have, Bird Alliance, maybe we would talk on May, and maybe NCLC would talk in June, and Surf Rider would talk in July, and Coastal Council. So we would just have different things we would have talks on, people would know that these are coming up, and they could plan for them. But that Earth Week would just be probably just a weekend.
So
maybe
you are
a-
talking about a week then, not just
Well,
a
I'm
couple
saying
days.
Friday would be shred, Saturday would be parade and fair, and maybe even beach cleanup on Saturday, because it's kind of a. Anyway, Saul would be there, and then maybe Tuesday or whatever day we can do the tree planting, we would do the tree planting. So it wouldn't be exactly a week, but it would be condensed what we do on that time. Just like what you were just saying.
Right. Also, it looks like Karen's got her hand up, and she's got some comments, questions, clarification.
Yeah, I thank you, Anita. I was going the same way because Betty was awesome to come and sit down and kind of go through it with me. And I walked away from that discussion thinking that the 12 days would stay intact, but we would reduce what we're trying to cram into those 12 days. And it's the items that Betty just outlined. And it wouldn't necessarily be something every day during the 12 days, but we would recognize that 12 days. Some of those days may be communication of what's coming up next that would occur during that. But then what she's adding is the remainder of those calendar year months with these other events that she's mentioning. I'm completely supportive in whatever you guys do. All I ask Betty is to just be cognizant that we are not staffed in Public Works over the weekend. We have one person, Kirk, that shoulders a lot of responsibilities during that weekend for Public Works team as a whole. So he's doing reads, he's managing the recycled, he's dealing with things that pop up that we can utilize him for. So adding something like an event to it is catastrophic. We've got to bring another Public Works staff person on to help support this sometime. And our budget's not always prepared for that. So when you guys are planning, I just ask Betty, keep that in mind when you're doing something over the weekend. We're happy to help, otherwise, but we just have to know ahead of time if we're gonna have to staff up or putting up tents, bringing out chairs, setting up tables, all those kind of things, because our union contract says if we call on a guy, he gets paid 3 hours to come out, even if he takes 30 minutes. So it's a budgetary thing and a resource thing. Otherwise, we're with you 150%.
So you still wanna do I feel like we still should do the parade and the fair on a Saturday. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that core weekend event, your street fair and your parade and that stuff. I mean, it's up to you guys. I would like to see that remain. I think it's been popular, it's successful. You guys are managing to actually grow the participation. And so don't lose your momentum now. It's just those other things that you're adding to it. You as a team and us as a staff can only do so many things. So that's all I'd like you just keep in mind when you're expanding it throughout the year. Be kind to yourselves. It's tough to put these things on. It takes a lot of effort.
So on the rest of the months, I wouldn't put it on a Saturday. I would do a weeknight or a week afternoon or something.
Right, without.
Yeah.
And it would be something like the History Center, someplace where we could fit people. But the thing is, the reason we're bringing this up now is because if we can start planning this, we could look for the whole next year. We could start calling different nonprofits and see what they want to do. And we were just thinking of things like on September, we could do something with Dark Skies. There's so many different topics that we could expand on, but we could do it in a way that wouldn't add to the public works workload.
Eddie, when you guys do your, monthly events throughout the year, take the time to snap a few pictures, send them to staff, and we can put that up on the city's Facebook page and say, this event occurred in honor of, Earth Day, the spirit of Earth Day that we do throughout the year here in Cannon Beach. And here's when the next event is going to happen, so that you keep that fresh in people's mind. It's, not everybody does Facebook, but the folks that do a good job of spreading the word to our community of what's happening. And that's just another form of communication. You can keep this fresh in people's minds throughout the year.
Great idea.
Yeah, great idea.
Highlight what you guys did, and then we could say, next month is gonna be this.
Perfect.
And keep rolling with that.
Perfect.
So are you saying it'll be one event, like one day per month, except for April, which is.
April, we
Yeah.
would just sort of have.
Just pick one day a month.
Yeah,
Which.
yeah, that's more of what we were thinking, right? It would be, for instance, a talk on dark skies. One month, and bird migration.
Sure, Frank.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I might have a tiny suggestion, if it's pre-planning with the kids. I would refer to Mark and Amy, but it seems like it's nice to plant in the fall rather than the spring for reduced water needs, that's from what.
That's an idea.
Plant best October, and it rains all, and things get established.
That's a good idea.
One,
Yeah, that's.
it's kind of not brought up, okay, birthday, like.
Yeah.
You got plant trees one day a year, it's all earth year.
I'm sure save on water.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Much hour.
If we're gonna do Earth Day, we need to think about the earth and what works with the earth. Doesn't have to be April, that was just, somebody said April was Earth Day. So let's do that, let's say, what's the best month to grow trees? Well, let's.
Well, it's like nitty gritty or something that, this is evolving, I like to think about, I think we should think about that one program being maybe moved, if we're gonna spread out over the whole year anyway.
Okay, I love it.
What's this Spruce Reserve Trail? What do you mean by that?
The. Part
Work
of
we
here.
did kind of last year on the trail system that
You know, the
exists.
trail that goes through Spruce Reserve,
One from Madison to the sewer ponds?
right, yeah, sort of,
Yeah, but there's several kind of that
There's little loops in
meander
there.
through that end up on Madison. We went out there with a volunteer to work at like invasive species, like, holly and stuff like
It
that.
was almost like you could maintain the whole Spruce Reserve as far as the base control.
oh, not just the trail, I didn't mean just the trail, but I mean, I'm just saying,
Oh,
I'm just saying, that's.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we were going into the reserve and cutting holly and,
I don't think we should be overdeveloping a trail system.
No.
Reserve.
It's talking about the invasives that are in Spruce Reserve.
Right, and I'd like to de-emphasize trail reserve.
okay,
Okay, well, it sounds like, there's, enthusiasm, I think, for this idea, and, thank you for that. Thanks, Karen, for, keeping it real with us too. I think another thing, and I'm not sure if we mentioned yet, was that when you and I were talking about it, was the idea, once we have the calendar worked out and making sure the things we're doing kind of fits the right time of year, with workloads and other, it'd be nice to see that if there was committee members or others that would be particularly interested in some of the topics and kind of adopt that month, if you will. And that could change over time. There could be more than one, but it might help the city to some degree, knowing, okay, there's a committee member and it's voluntary, all voluntary. Some of us might take a couple months, others might not want any, but we say, okay, this is kind of the point committee member for that month to help with the logistics and contacts and things like that. Is that correct?
Thank you.
Discussed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should put that.
You should do something.
Okay. Anything else on that? What do you see as the next steps on this then? Betty, sounds like
Well-
you're reviewing the calendar.
Is it possible that we would get together with a few of us, I don't know, and, work out what we want it to look like and bring it back to you folks and then vote on it, because this is just throwing stuff out is to see.
I want to see a final plan here, so I think that's a good idea, to just nice out and and let's talk about it. on the
Okay.
plan.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's what, we'll get together and we'll
Okay.
talk about how it looks.
And let's,
And every year we could change it. I mean, we could say, okay, this year instead of doing dark skies, we'll do something else. So it could change year to year. But this is just an idea of how we can change that 12-day program and make it more feasible for us.
and I
So,
like, oh, excuse me, Karen, go ahead. Or was that Anita?
Then you got
Okay.
so are you talking about like maybe a work session type with the Parks Committee to discuss further, marketing and specific ideas for this? Because I think we should all be involved, when I hear that there's just one or two that are getting together and, we're a committee and I think that we all need to be involved and, whether we could do it through Zoom as a public meeting, I'm not sure, but I just would like all of us to be involved in this.
I agree,
So why don't we just take it next month and nail this down
Okay.
as a committee, as a group?
And if, what we could do, let's put this in our notes. Everybody that is on our committee will bring ideas of what they think a certain month would be good for. I love the idea that, Kurt just said about October being a good month to plant trees. Those are the kind of things we need to think about. Yeah, because what does the earth do? It rains in the winter, so let's plant our trees so that it'll save us water. So those are the kind of thinking smart is what we wanna do, what our 12 days, our 12 months of Earth month.
Let's come next month and let's nail this down.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Thank you. Good discussion on that too. I like the idea of kind of keeping it forethought in everybody's mind throughout the year also. I know, for the professional association I belong to, we actually have bumper stickers that actually say it, that every day is Earth Day for a forester, so that's
I
bad.
love it.
Hey, thank you very much. Looks like we're on to good of the order. Do you have anything good of the order,
Karen's got her hand up.
Karen? Please.
Want to thank Betty and the volunteer team who went over to the Nakus Park and cleared all that vegetation around those little young trees to help AJ. He had his hands super full and he went over and did a cursory clearing. We had some residents that were concerned that those trees that you guys planted with the kids were going to get choked out from the vegetation. So thank you for that. Somebody sent me a great text with the picture. And if you guys give me permission, I'm able to post that to the city's Facebook page and promote the volunteer efforts that are happening with the city. But I have to have permission to do that. I can't just take it upon myself to do it. So when you send me a picture, say we're giving you permission to post this on the city's Facebook page, and I'm always happy to do it. I think that encourages folks to say, hey, when's the next volunteer thing? I'm with you, you know. The other thing I wanted to recognize is Trevor and Mike Benefield, who headed up phase 2 of the water resiliency project in the ECFR with all the pipe replacements, where we had that closed for months, and the locals were anxious to get back in there and do their hiking. There was not one tree taken down in that project. And I just think that everybody can appreciate that when they go up and hike and they're not seeing any change whatsoever. There've been a couple emails come in, great accolades saying, how come it was closed so long? Nothing looks different. It's a mission accomplished. That was what they set out to do. And I can just tell you, Trevor and Mike spent a lot of time with the city's arborist up there, and the city expended additional dollars to be able to directional bore or drill without open trenching any more than they needed to avoid impacting any of the trees. And so I hope our community as a whole just really absorbs that, because that was not an easy undertaking, and those guys really put a lot of focus on that. So please spread the word and let people know, because I think a lot of people assumed there was a lot of trees that came down, and there absolutely was not. So, and
I
Betty,
can attest to that. Yes, I walked up there and I was, you know, you wouldn't know necessarily that there was this major project that went on. So thank you, Karen, Trevor, Mike, and the whole team. So
yes,
great
thank
job.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was major in capital letters. Betty, there is some areas there that you could consider doing some pollinators, especially near the creek where there's water available for the insects, if you will, that would be benefiting from those pollinators. Those areas where we, you know, smoothed the road back over and kind of got it back to where it was, where we were staging equipment and whatnot. There's some perimeter areas along there off the trails that would be good to just poke in some pollinators. So you might think about that, with it being such a great natural area. We should not forget that that's a nice area to take advantage of that as well. So just thank you for those efforts.
Can I talk to you after about that exact spot?
Yeah, I'll show you some spots where it would be great.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. So this is the perfect time of year to be sowing those seeds too. So if you do it seed wise. So.
Yeah. And one of the emphasis is when you're gonna plant the seeds, you need to put the hay on top. Because the the blue jays were over at the school yesterday, having their way with the seeds, so. Anyway.
Yeah, well, if that project comes up, Karen, you know, I'm interested in that too, help. That might be too much for us to do next week with the Cola Bible College volunteers, but perhaps if the tree netting doesn't come together, we got another project.
That's a good idea, yeah, great.
And it's perfect time. That's what we need. Okay, well, I think that's it. Yeah, under good of the order, we want to acknowledge the city manager's presence with us today. Thank you for being here. And under good of the order, anything you'd like to share with the group today?
No, it's exciting to hear.
Well, we know your busy schedule, so we always enjoy having you here, so thank you very much. I will take the opportunity to recognize then, both Bruce as the city manager and Karen as the Public Works Director, Boss Day. And just want to thank you for all you do, for your leadership here, the friendships, and just really being a part of the community and the accomplishments that the city benefits from your efforts. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I've got one more meeting with you guys and then I'll get to introduce my replacement. You're gonna love him. My retirement is November 28th. I'm looking forward to it. You're gonna love Brucing out the announcement about Chris replacing me, and I can't even say his last name properly. I'm still working on it right now, but you're gonna love him. He's from Arch Cape area, so he's a local North Coastie. And I look forward to introducing him to the committee next month.
Great, thank you for that. I wondered if that was gonna come up, so thanks. Well, with that, not any other comments or anything there, we'll adjourn and save ourselves 8 minutes.